think this is a much better way and a much more structural way to do responsible business and to do responsible innovation than just first to make profit and then to give back to the community.
I'm wondering, so there are increasingly founders and business leaders who want to give back to the community. So we have the 1% group of people, and then we have, of course, companies who dedicate a portion of their revenue to social good programs. What do you think about these programs versus, well, not versus, but responsible innovation as a way of doing business?
So I think many of these programs are laudable. I mean, I think it is good to do something for the community, and I think it is good that companies have this responsibility. But to be honest with you, I'm also sometimes a bit skeptical about these programs in the following sense that sometimes what you see, and of course I'm now making it a bit of a caricature, but sometimes you feel so you have this company who makes a lot of profit in a, say, irresponsible way, and then at the end of the day gives back some of the revenues that they have gained in an irresponsible way to the community. And then I would say, okay, well, it is not bad that they give something back to the community, but it's much more important that they started to do business and to innovate responsibly from the start. So I'm teaching classes to students about also a class which is about business propositions and how to start about businesses, and I give a course there on corporate social responsibility and a lecture about corporate social responsibility and responsibility. And I'm telling them, well, what you should do is not so much all this kind of charity. I'm not against this charity, but what you really should do is make responsibility part of your business proposition and your proposition to society. And some people call this a shared value. And the idea of shared value is that you're creating a kind of a business proposition which allows you to make profit, which allows you to stay in business, but which also adds something to society, without seeing this as a necessary contradiction between the society good and the business good, but trying to find a proposition that is good for society and for your company. And if you do it that way, it very much means that you probably will develop other products. And I tell the students, I think this is a much better way and a much more structural way to do responsible business and to do responsible innovation than just first to make profit and then to give back to the community. So this is why I have a bit, and again, I mean, I think we shouldn't, there's not a reason to complain that people want to give to the community, but I'm always a bit hesitant and skeptical, and I think, to be honest, if you look some of these very rich people doing so, well, they did businesses about which you can at least face some issues about whether it was completely responsible. Let me phrase it that way.